Okay, we'll call Public Works to order, and I see all 5 members are present. We're gonna start with, item 5 on tonight's agenda, resolution 2025-4567. Resolution adopting the West Allis Bike, Pedestrian, and Mobility Plan. That was the handout we got a month and a half ago.
I move approval.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. And number 25 we were told to hold it. Resolution 2026-0465, resolution to approve the bid of Alcon LLC for structural repairs and electrical upgrade at the farmers market in the amount of $727,199.14. And Melinda, do you want to explain why, and are we moving forward, or are we going to send it all back for bids?
It was brought.
Should we tell, what happened was, one of the subcontractors bid too low, correct? And they're calling it back?
So we were notified this afternoon by a subcontractor that they had misquoted the prime contractor. West Allis only works with a prime contractor, so we conferred with Attorney Decker as to what the process would be. So we reached out to the prime contractor, Alcon, and confirmed if they were going to hold their bid or if they were going to withdraw their bid. That's their option. They said that they would hold their bid at the price, and however they work it out with their subcontractor is up to them. It's not the city's business, how they come up with the price that they provide to us. The city's concern is, do they do the job and to the specifications that we give them and at the price that they quote us. So Alcon has confirmed that they will do the job for the price that they bid. So our recommendation is to award the contract as it was bid. So the other option that the council would have would be to reject both bids and then rebid, since it has become known that the subcontractor didn't quote the prime bidder correctly, and we don't know if that happened to there were 2 bidders on the project. We don't know what they quoted the second bidder. They did not reach out and say that someone had contacted them, nor did we reach out and ask, because again, it's really, will Alcon hold their price and honor that price or not? So, and since they said they would, we recommend award.
So we're going to accept the $727,190, they can do that for now.
Yeah, they can do it forever.
Well,
As far as we're concerned.
right in front of
Yeah,
us.
right, that's the amount that we would award the contract for, and that would be the amount we would hold them to.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, go ahead, please.
do we know how much more, or how much they were off by?
We do not.
Okay.
And again, for us, it's irrelevant
Chairman Rowe?
at this point.
Go ahead, please.
Does this delay the timing of the project getting done?
No.
So it's just a matter of they have to work it out between them, and so everything is set to go?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
just to the piece of the floor, the reason that this was brought also to the committee was because in case they said no, we would have had the option to award the contract anyway, which would then have kicked in their bid bond, which would have been about $36,000. So,
How much was the bid? The bid bond?
$36,000, so it's 5% contract value.
not know that percentage.
So, that's the key is, have they said something different, or have they, even if they're saying they're going to accept it, the moment that you approve it, their bid bond now requires them to accept it. So that's what's at risk if they don't do the job for that price.
Thank you.
Anything else from the committee members?
I move approval of item 25.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Now we go to item 55, resolution 2026-0515, resolution to approve the bid Property Solutions Contracting LLC for Rogers Park play surface replacement in the amount of $383,847. You wanna add anything? Go ahead,
I
I'm
would.
sorry,
I would like to add,
please.
I did include a cover letter in the packet. We had, three or four bids on this project. And Property Solutions was, the lowest at $383,47. The next lowest was CW Preparo at $530 and change. That's a fairly significant difference.
Yeah, it is.
And that's why we brought this before the Public Works Committee, because that big of a gap doesn't feel right.
Right.
So, but we did our due diligence when we approved Property Solutions, as a pre-qualified bidder. They submitted all the required information, they have all the proper equipment. We called different communities, cause we have not worked with this contractor before, and they, provided, reviews, and feedback that said that the Property Solutions had completed the work in a timely manner, although it took some extra management on the community's part, but they did a satisfactory job on that. Preparo, on the other hand, who is the second low, has, done work for the city, is currently doing work for the city, and, we have had no issues with them. But we just want the council to understand the potential risk that, there could be extra costs that they might bring forward, but again, we would hold them to $383. It's just, everybody should understand that there's risk with that.
But there shouldn't be any extra cost if that's their bid.
Shouldn't be, right, just like the other one shouldn't be, but we just wanna make everybody aware and make sure that that's the direction the council wants to take.
And Mr. Chair.
Please.
Yeah, and so Melinda, and I didn't read the bid package, but did the bid require the exact same play surface type product? Or, and so it's not one is bidding one product versus another a different product?
No. So, it could be as simple as they wanna get their foot in the door with the city, and so they made sure that they had a bid that was, the lowest.
The famous Allis does.
So again, we're recommending award, we just wanted to make everybody aware.
Okay, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
It's been moved
Second.
and seconded.
Mr. Chair, I have one additional question, if I may.
Can't you wait till I get to the any further I'm kidding, go ahead.
I thought you were gonna do an all in favor.
No.
So, I'm sorry. Melinda, the potential extra cost now, if I'm correct, we're just doing the surface replacement. Any of the equipment, things like that gets replaced on it. If there would be a problem, say with the equipment breaking and things like that, that could be a potential additional cost?
Well, there is a warranty, a 1-year warranty on the project
Okay.
in totality, so,
Okay,
and then, different pieces of equipment may have longer manufacturer's warranties.
okay, thank you. Back to you, boss.
Now? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. And we have, lastly, item 57, 2026-00812, communication from the Director of Public Works regarding the proposed draft of the 2026 Guide to Garbage and Recycling Collection. And Dave and Sarah, you want? Oh,
So,
there you go. Okay,
Sarah Devitz, our sanitation supervisor, is helping us out tonight. She's passing out the draft that was emailed to you folks. And also a revision, projected revisions that staff has noticed within the booklet. Again, we had a make
Thank
the
you,
deadline.
you changed it already, thank you, Dave. Alright, I'm talking out of
And
turn, I
Alderperson
apologize.
Haas right away.
Thank you.
An error. So we are in the process of addressing that, as well as kind of doing some minor errors that are typos. So again, we want to make the agenda deadline,
Thank you.
so I wanted you the opportunity not only review the ordinance that was attached, but also the booklet. And if you had any questions on the materials and information that was presented, we will try to address those tonight before we have a final, draft that will go out to the public.
Alderman Haas, what did you change?
Oh, you know what, I made my comment and
So what it
I was
was,
mistaken, it still hasn't
it's
been
page
changed.
3,
It's, yeah,
It's what?
page 3,
Yes,
under recycling carts.
yeah,
And
and it hasn't been
it's-
changed yet, but
Yeah,
it will
you
be.
may buy an additional cart, and then we had it free of charge. Well, we're going to eliminate free of charge, right? So recycling cart, the first one's free. The second one, for that property unit would be a charge. So we wanna make sure that we address that.
and then what about the rest? You had discussed about page 1, item 2, eliminating no more than 3 objects.
Correct. So, we would keep, what page are you?
First page, yes. Item 2,
Dan, this is page 1.
what am I,
There's page numbers
I'm
on
looking
the
at
bottom.
this.
Yeah, in the bottom there.
Okay, I had a different,
So we still have the 3 items
okay,
as the ordinance requires.
I got a whole different. But you know what I'm talking about, right,
Yep.
Dave? And you're good with that?
The one, we were kind of working with our scenarios. We're kind of going through of different, issues and different type of materials that are posed, for Sarah and her crews. One of them is the fee schedule, so if you go to the last page, I just wanna make you aware that this is how we interpret it. So the way the ordinance is written is you have 1 or 2 refuse carts. And then you can have 3 items outside those carts. You have the luxury up to 1 cubic yard, so those 3 items that are stored on the exterior of the refuse carts has to be 1 cubic yard or less. If those 3 items are under 1 cubic yard and you wanna put a chair out there that's still under the 1 cubic yard, our interpretation is that will be a $50 fee. So if you put, small items, 4 small items out there, that 4th one would be $50. So that's per item. Now we have a fee for 1 volume. So 0 to 1, up to 1 cubic yard is free. From 1 cubic yard to 4 is $50. So I wanna make you aware that that extra item, it could be a shoebox, could, obviously, a little light item, you're going to be paying what you can put out in volume as 1 to 4 cubic yards. I just wanna make you aware that that's how we interpret it. I think it's excessive or, I guess.
Which
it's up to
involves-
you folks.
One of the guys on the truck to take a picture and get it to Sarah, and then get it to wherever else he goes,
Yeah.
right? So it's
So
bogging
this-
down the whole system.
So I think you may, again, that, I just wanna make you aware that same fee for 1 item is the same for 1 cubic yard to 4 cubic yards. So 1 item is equivalent to 1 to 4 cubic yards.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead, please.
thank you for starting out with this, cause that's really what my communication with Aaron has been about, was kinda reading this and how to interpret it, cause we also have to do a good job explaining
Yeah.
it. So where it kind of gets confusing to me, and I kinda sold this project out to like 4 different people who hey, how do you interpret this? So I kinda, cause it was confusing to me, is where we look at those objects of 1 additional object is $50. Do we have to list it as that 1 additional, because we're already putting 1 to 4 cubic yards in there? So even if it's 1 item, it still fits in that 1 to 4 cubic, cause that's what read kind of confusing to me, is like, okay, I can have 1 to 4 cubic yards, say I'm moving out or I'm doing my spring cleaning, and I decide to put all these items out there, and I know that I'm gonna be charged, $50 for 1 to 4 cubic yards in addition to my 3 pieces. But, do we really need a per item then? Because that's what reads confusing. Am I making sense when I'm saying this?
So, yes, so I guess to interpret, what was created, that it was three items that were allowed.
Yeah.
I think would be, my recommendation, I agree with you,
Yeah,
that, yeah, we can make that change, that anything less than 1 cubic yard,
1 to
you
4.
may have 5 items or
Yep.
4, it's free, it's expectation of Sarah's staff is they would collect it. It would be kinda hard, and I know, if you look at, lawn chairs, you fold them up. If I were to put out 4 of them, well, that 4th one would be a charge. And try to make that consistent with crews.
Right.
And we talked about that and your concern. I guess I would refer to Attorney Decker of what we can do to potentially address that.
I just like it to be as simple as possible for you and for residents to understand, and I think that just reads a little bit more confusing to me and those that I asked. Not one of them came back and said they made sense of that. They thought whatever items beside that item is gonna be 50 per item.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
So the provision of the code we're looking at says that solid waste that's collected has to comply with these rules. One of them is the solid waste is no more than 3 objects presented in a manner that they can each be removed or emptied by a single person with ordinary effort. That's the provision where the 3-item rule comes from. If there's interest in removing that maximum and instead just keeping the volume-based billing, then you just simply would delete about 4 words from that sentence. So
What do you think?
instead it would then be worded, the solid waste is presented in a manner that each can be removed or emptied by a single person with ordinary effort. Because part of it was the efficiency.
Right.
You could have 40 lawn chairs, that might be 1 cubic yard.
You're right.
So they could just be laying all over the front yard. So the 3-object rule was intended to make it more efficient because someone's gonna stop and pick up the lawn chairs for a while. That was why that 3-object limit was originally in the code. But if in practice it's posing a problem and you wanna focus more on the volume side of things, an easy amendment to the code and the fee schedule would remove it.
Sound
Thinking
good?
about volume would be easier for us to measure and then charge accordingly.
It just seems more clean.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, while we're on this verbiage, objects exceeding 50 pounds and extraordinary effort to remove object. Total confusion there, because to me, I don't know what would take extraordinary effort if you have one worker who's 5'10" and weighs 200 pounds, he can lift that, and somebody who's half that size and can't. Does this mean a weight? Because when I was looking, and we always say, we look at our sister cities, so when I'm on TOSA's site and other sites, it's really a weight based. So that read confusing to me, kind of redundant to extraordinary effort and objects exceeding. And I know that we discussed it in committee, that like pianos and hutches and, something very heavy that requires more than 2 people to lift. Would that be cleaner to just state that and a weight?
I agree, I think it's more, explicit where it's tangible, you can, have a weight, it'll be hard to define, I guess, with extraordinary effort. I think it could be taken as the same, maybe.
Right.
So,
That's what I thought, it seemed repetitive and it didn't read clean to me. So can we change that, or what would the recommendation be, Dale?
Sure. So same sentence actually is where that comes from. The idea is the object is removed or emptied by a single person with ordinary effort. I guess the idea would be if it was some very thin, large, wobbly item where it's less than 50 pounds but very awkward, that would require 2 people to remove it then, because it would fit every other category of the rule. So the idea of the ordinary effort would be we want one person to be able to do the job. We don't want to have two people having to come back and do the job. It can be removed. I don't know how often it's gonna come up that two people are gonna need to be there for an object that is less than 50 pounds. It might be a rare instance of an unusual circumstance, and if the city is okay not billing for those unusual circumstances, then we could actually delete the last 3 words of the same sentence. Which I'm actively doing this right now.
Does it sound good to you?
So what it would be, the sentence would then be, after both of those edits, it would say, one of the requirements of putting an item outside your bin is the solid waste is presented in a manner that can be removed or emptied by a single person. That's it.
Those were
You
my
like
two.
And we're just trying to get you
That's
guys
perfect.
as efficient as
Thank you.
possible, right?
That's perfect.
You're welcome.
I think that clarifies.
Anything else you guys would like? No, seriously,
Shoot for the stars.
Anything,
Good.
Sarah?
Nothing I can think of right now.
If I
Any
may,
questions or, okay.
if I may,
yes.
my question to that would be, okay, say I'm putting out or doing some spring cleaning and you're on your normal route and I want to put the 1 to 4 cubic yards out there. Will that all be picked up in the same refuse pickup? Or would I need to do a special pickup call for that?
Great question. So, the way the ordinance is written, efficiency, where we would take it, we would take a picture of it, and Sarah and she would indicate from the crew what the charge is to verify. And in this ordinance with Attorney Decker, the point of collection was clearly defined. Alley edge, and then also at the curb. So all the materials that are there, we're taking. And it's up to the resident to know that there is a potential charge for those items. But we want to eliminate that for various reasons, take care of it, one stop, and we're not going back to that area. And Attorney Decker and his staff is, that's what they, tried to identify and address in this new ordinance.
So bulk pickup would be something that would be a larger item, is how we would explain it to our residents, right? So if they put a couch and a love seat out there, don't expect that to go with regular pickup.
Well, I think it would.
It can, okay.
Yeah, I think it would. It would be just the additional fees
These would be.
for
Okay.
$50.
Alright, so we're not gonna have to go back, is what I'm saying,
Right,
so,
that's what
okay.
we're trying to achieve.
That's,
Unless it has ineligible items like TVs, tires, other
Okay.
electronics that wouldn't go. Where we'd have to say, well, we'll take this stuff, but then we'll still have to come visit and let you know what to do with the rest of it.
and with that being said, like what if it's in bags and people are using bags and still putting, food in their bags?
So part of the, good question, so part of the ordinance where Attorney Decker wanted to address some of our concerns are not bendable. Items that are not a source of food for rodents, animals. So our interpretation would be bags would not be allowed to be stored outside the carts because they are bendable, you can adjust them.
Not squishy.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be not rigid.
Right.
So only rigid items would be accepted outside the cart for that. So part of this ordinance that Attorney Decker tried to address was those items that various residences would put bags upon bags upon bags or open bags, open debris, and they it's just at the point of collection or just in the yard or what have you. We wanna define point of collection, everything lined up, like you mentioned, Alderwoman Grisham is, you wanna make sure that all the materials are rigid.
Right.
And that any animals can't go in there and,
But if it is outside of there and it's there, what do we do with it? Is there anything above the $50 or something that we say, okay, these ineligible items that required special pickup or something, do we have anything in there that says, okay, it can be cited? Because we wanna eliminate that problem. So you may have somebody that just doesn't care. Hopefully they do after they get,
So
the
my
fees, but-
understanding is we would, give that person a violation notice,
okay,
a warning,
But still picking it up.
but still correcting it.
okay.
And educating, that
Right.
family or those patrons that, hey, you can't
This
put
is
the
the
bags
educating.
out there.
But we can also cite them if it's repetitive, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that was my
Yep.
question. And
Yep.
finally, I said I didn't have any more. What about those that we should have our lids closed? And I'm seeing people just stuffing and stuffing and stuffing. It looks like a big ice cream cone on top of that cart. That should be technically things that would be outside of the cart, cause they're in the cart, but the lid's not closed. How are we looking at that?
So my feeling is, what I communicated to staff is, you may have residents that don't have it fully closed.
Okay,
You know, it's out there for 24 hours at the most. Educate the patron, give them a notice indicating, you know, just so you realize, because we don't want rodents, we don't want, you know, issues there, or it's kind of when you service it, it may fall out or what have you. So we always wanna give a warning, so to speak.
And
could you
educational
look at maybe
material.
giving them a notice and saying, hey, if they only had one, hey, you know you can buy a second one, we see
Well,
that your
that's-
garbage is overflowing.
Definitely that would happen, like on multiple instances, we would recommend them getting an additional cart if they don't already have two. Or maybe the issue may be recycling better, cause that's gonna leave you more room in your garbage cart.
You can do one of those series.
And you know the regulars.
How do we recycle?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Stuff on those things?
But again, we recognize that there's always an exception that, you know, once, you know, a person may have it out there, the crews know the
Right.
route.
Yeah.
And if they see it that's continuous, they will
Could be a
address
holiday.
that.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, just to follow up, there's two rules that might apply in that situation. One is that it can't be presented in a manner that poses a threat of injury to persons or property. So if they're stacking things, like sharp things especially sticking
Yeah.
out, that would be one of the issues that could be either cited or a fee could be imposed for that. And then also, the receptacle has to be airtight, watertight, otherwise not available for animals. So it might be even the type of stuff that's with the lid
Right.
open. If it's all a bunch of old food that's being discarded and the lid's open, that poses a larger problem than if it was construction debris that was carefully stacked.
Right.
So those are the two rules that also apply in that situation. So it's not a every single time the lid's open, the rule's been violated, but there's a potential for it based on the circumstances.
I heard finally.
Mr. Chair, I got one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and so.
I'm kidding.
So say I incur a $50 charge, I had, whatever it was, and I have to pay $50. What's the mechanism about how I find out about this? Do I get a letter in the mail, and how long does that take? Is it just stuck on my property taxes? I don't know.
Good question. So the way Attorney Decker created the ordinance was, it's on us. Where we address, we remove it, take a picture, all the pictures that we need to document. And then we can either email the property owner, as well as, we can notify two, other means. But what we kinda wanna do, make sure that the communication is documented, making sure that the property owner is, notified on that. And my understanding is, once that property owner gets that notification, he or she can review that invoice, and if they have questions, they can contact Sarah, and they have 30 days to, I believe, pay the invoice, or they can appeal. They may say, hey, this is not something that, you know, I agree with, so what we're really trying to do, and with the attorney's office, is one-stop shopping. It's just clear it. People have to realize if you put it out, and I don't know the frequency, but I know it happens where residents are like, yes, we put this out there, you shouldn't have took it. We really try to address collection points on that, so.
Can it ever be put on the tax bill? Like, these guys aren't gonna.
Yes, so the, part of the driving force was to ensure there's one notice that goes out, if it's not appealed, it automatically goes in the tax bill and is collected. There's no back and forth, there's no additional mail, there's no collection action other than special.
Okay, great.
Is the photograph going to be included as an attachment, just so that they see it, and there's not good, I'd be least likely to argue it if I saw the picture.
There will be the bulk and then the removal of it, so it's like, here it is, there it's gone. And
Gotcha.
also we'll have both pictures.
Mr. Chairman, here's a question. What if someone says it wasn't me?
It's still, my interpretation, and again, Attorney Decker may, have an opinion on this, if it's on the property, it's on the property.
Okay,
But
so, I mean, that's not my television, that's not my
So-
chair, that's not my.
We've had that.
Right, oh yeah.
Mr. Chair, so in that exact situation, the right to appeal is there, so you could always appeal that issue, state your case. My expectation would be if this is a common thing for a particular occupant, you
Okay.
might want to get a camera pointing toward the collection point, and then that will be your evidence to defend yourself in the future. And bring that before appeals board, and after that, maybe set something else up to catch the person doing this if it's a repeat violator. So there are ways to address it, but yes, initially, Public Works would have the right to impose that fee because it is the right of way adjacent to that property.
Mr. Chair, this is just for a lesson, it was a lesson to me. My neighbors across the street moved out and they had all of their garbage outside of carts and whatnot. I never thought I'd see this. People pulled up in their cars and were ripping open bags of garbage. And you know, that would be an instance that this is the purpose of being able to put everything in a cart, you know, to begin with. But having that mess and a resident saying, hey, well, I didn't do that. And, you know, if your neighbor has that on a recording or something, can prove it, it wouldn't be their responsibility in the same sense. I mean, I went out there and helped them clean it all up.
Well, it's not that it wouldn't be their responsibility, it's that they could have it reviewed by an appellate board.
Okay,
For example, if there are move-outs every 3 months and they're just continually dumping things and they could
Yeah.
have taken that stuff to a dump to avoid it, maybe the board will hold them to that bill because they need to figure out a better way of dumping those items. So it depends on the context of the situation, but from a public works standpoint, they have every right to impose that bill and defend it later on.
super, thank you.
Which means a lot of our owners are gonna be suffering because people move out every once in a while and just leave.
It's part of owning real estate.
It's own real estate, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that would gain, I guess, them to be a little bit more responsible,
Exactly.
property owners.
Mr. Chair. Alright, Mikhail, this board that we appeal to, is that our administrative appeals board, our dog bite board?
Yep.
Alright,
there you go.
and then, so Dave, I asked you about this bill, how we get this $50 bill, you said an email, do we have email addresses, or is this US mail? And, or if it's US mail, does it come with in a bill format that I can write out a check and send it back, or all to be determined?
So we can either mail
Love it.
the invoice in, or it could be certified, through the mail or email. So I would probably recommend, what we're looking at is doing both. So that way you have it documented that the individual certified mail is the best.
Certified mail,
emails.
I'm sorry, but yeah, that's a $9 charge to send something certified mail.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then, as well as, email.
So we can't just standard mail?
The code requires first-class mail as a minimum.
Okay.
I don't know if there's an interest in doing more than the minimum at the beginning, just to ensure communication happens, or if that'd be a permanent
I
policy.
So it'll go
first
to the
class.
property owner, not the property, so if it's,
Because the owner's the one who would pay the special charge, that's
Yep,
got to be.
gotcha.
And our cops send out tickets, first class mail.
The law recognizes first-class mail as a sufficient service.
How much, finally, how much do those waste management bags cost? You know what I'm talking
The
about?
The ones we can just like throw a bunch of stuff in.
bags-
Yeah, and then they come and pick it up with the hook. How much are those?
The extras are about $30
$30 only?
for the bag.
Well, for the bag.
Oh, then how much the
Service-
haul weigh? About.
Last time I did it was about $170.
You got a lot of garbage.
I didn't say to take apart a deck.
don't judge, don't judge.
Fire pit.
Haven't seen my garage.
Okay, are we finally, you guys are happy?
Yeah, you got
You
it.
sure?
I have one more thing to say, thank you for putting all the work into it,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I appreciate it a lot.
And
What
again,
Suzette
thanks-
said, yeah.
Guys, but thank you all for your input. Alderwoman Grisham and us and you know, all of you. Alderperson wrote, you know, that you had some questions as well.
We've had more discussion on this in the fire department.
Hey, this is one of the biggest topics for residents.
I thought the
Is
fire
that
department
this is
virtue was pretty big.
well, no, bread and butter here.
Okay, so it's a communication and you're gonna redo it and bring it back to us as what,
Yep, the amended ordinance.
Okay.
Will do.
I've already got a draft amendment going right now.
so we
the
place
ones-
it on file right now.
Right now, no action is needed because it's a communication, but I need someone to tell me who wants to sponsor this thing.
I'll sponsor the amendments,
Alright, I'll come to you with the draft then.
thank you.
But
And it'll still come to us one more time.
Correct.
Okay,
For final approval, yes.
okay. Well, that didn't take long. Are you people in the back row still with us? Okay, having nothing further coming before us, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Been
Second.
moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, we are adjourned, thank you.
Okay, I will call Public Safety Committee, meeting to order, Happy New Year, everyone. I don't think anybody said that yet. Item 63, 2025, 11882, new operator's license bartender, Class D operator application for Jacqueline Reyes. Miss Reyes, are you here?
I am.
Hi, come up, please. Thank you for your patience.
No, it's okay. Thank
You
for your
get a nice
time.
little lesson in civics here. So, you are coming to get your bartender license and,
Yes.
where will you be working, Jacqueline?
Caterina's Ristorante on
Caterina's.
72nd in Oklahoma. 92nd, sorry. We're
Alright.
out of 70s today.
Now, you've been before us before, haven't you, or no, you had to reschedule?
I had to reschedule,
Okay,
yes,
super,
so
well,
thank
thank
you
you
for
for
your
that
time.
communication on that. I'm looking at the DOT report that, we had, and I'm not seeing anything in particular right now that we can, look at as being a reason that you can be denied for your license. However, I don't know if any other council member has any questions, I will open the floor to that,
I do, Madam Chair?
please.
Yeah, there was a charge, and it's not being reviewed until, was it July?
Yes.
Charge that I don't like, but you haven't been found guilty yet.
No, so I'm currently in a state program through WCS in Waukesha. So it's a year program of sobriety, and so then my highest charge will get brought down to one misdemeanor at the end of it, so,
If you successfully complete the program.
which I will.
Yeah,
Yes.
good.
Confidence.
Good.
Any other questions?
Yeah, then I move approval.
Okay, there's a motion
Second.
and there's a second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Good luck.
Good luck.
Okay, item 64, 2026-00120, operator's license bartender class D operator renewal application for Eric Klotz. Is Mr. Klotz here?
Here.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay.
Again, thank you for your patience.
Yep.
Eric, you come before us for a bartender's license.
Correct.
Where will you plan on where will you be working?
Lemansky's, 89th Greenfield.
Lemansky's, okay. Are you currently working there right now?
I am,
Okay.
under other bartender license, not, somebody who was a licensor, basically. I
Okay,
have had my license before, and this is my first time at coming to a council meeting to get my license, so.
okay. I'm just reading some notes here. I'm gonna open it to our other council members to see if they have any questions for you.
Yeah, Madam Chair.
Please.
Yeah, and Mr. Klaus, the reason that you are here this time versus the other times is, yeah, you had an arrest that was no processed by the DA's office. They didn't prosecute you, and we just want you to know that we see that and we're concerned about that. It doesn't have a direct bearing on your work as a bartender, but this committee wants you to know that we want our bartenders to obey the law.
Oh,
That
absolutely.
is important.
Yeah, absolutely. Since then, I've been good. I mean, I haven't had any other issues with nothing with the law or anything like that, so.
And yeah, you've been bartending already. I want to take this chance to remind you, if you're in a situation where you're thinking, should I or shouldn't I call the police?
Mhm.
Always call
Call
the
the police,
police in that situation.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Haas.
Yeah,
Any
thank
other questions? All right, is there a motion?
I move approval.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. I asked for discussion. There was none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You're welcome. Item 65, 2026-00309, new operators bartender license, Class D operator, application for Marie Beckman. Ms. Beckman, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
And I sound like a record here, but thank you for your patience today. Same drill, we're kind of looking at your DOT records here and what the recommendations are and some discussion on it. So you kind of heard the two people before you. And I see that you have a conviction of a second OWI. Can you give us some background as to what's happening with your record?
Yes, so that occurred in late of May, and I did go through AODA and I completed that in September. I work with a wonderful therapist and psychiatrist. I have letters from them too, but I am going for maybe 3 months in jail in Dane County by tomorrow. I have been going with AA and stuff like that every other week, and I've been sober ever since. I mean, I don't ever really wanna drink again. Just looking at it just makes me sick.
Where will you be working?
So I work at Pan Asia supermarket. We barely have anyone that has any people with liquor license to ID people, so they really heavily rely on me. So whenever I do come back, they really do need me to ID people. And in the past, I had to deny people because I do have that not official, but that partial license. What was it called again? I forgot what it was.
Provisional?
Provisional. And I did have to deny underage people. I did see my previous self in them when I was younger, and I'm really happy that I can make the right decision and deny those.
Marie, I appreciate you being candid about your convictions and whatnot. Pan Asia is a new grocery store in the area. So I feel a little bit more relieved in saying that you're working at a grocery store than maybe a bar, and I'm just being honest. But with that being said, we give you this license. You can work at any bar. You can work at any establishment. Can you give me some background with the OWIs? What led up to those convictions? Where were you? Were you working? Were you not working?
No, I was not working at Pan Asia at the time. So Pan Asia was, I did get hired in July, a month before we officially opened up.
Yeah, and I don't mean it like that. I'm sorry to interrupt. What led up to those OWI instances? Were you out socializing?
Yeah, I
Were
was
you?
just out socializing.
Okay.
I think you were self-medicating.
Yeah, but now
But
that
she's got psychiatry. I'm her mother,
good care.
Christine.
Yeah.
Now that she's seeing a psychiatrist and a therapist, and they're trying to figure out what's best fit for her.
Okay, and I see that here on CCAP. It says you're sentenced to 3 months in jail, and that's
Yes.
beginning tomorrow.
Yes.
Well, and they're also going to try to transfer her
On an
from
England.
Dane to Milwaukee so that they can put her on work release. And she also has 2 pets to take care of.
So you got a lot of hard lessons here that you have to learn, Marie, and
Yes.
you got a little hole to dig out of, but I think you can do it. You sound like you've got a good head on your shoulders, and you want to make this right. Not easy to do, so commendable to you. As Alderman Haas had said to our previous applicant, what we expect is exactly what you said you were doing, you know, it's a little different in a bar environment, but you do have people who come in a grocery store and they wanna buy alcohol, and you do have to be responsible, regardless of what their ages are, what they look like. Some people get complimented, some people get offended, but it's important to follow the letter of the law. You have any problems, you're gonna call the police, you're gonna do what you're supposed to do. So with that being said, I don't have any further questions, but I will open it up to the committee,
Madam Chair?
please.
Mom, did you drive tonight?
Oh my god, I drive all the time.
Yes.
No, I meant, did you drive here? Her here?
Yeah, oh
Okay,
yeah, I drive her to work,
okay,
I'm,
that's all I needed.
yeah. Say, do you want to pass those letters around if they
Only
wanna
if they want to
take
see
a look
them.
at it?
I don't think we need them,
No,
I don't need
no,
them.
but thank you for bringing
I
them.
believe you, what you say you have there.
Anyone else? Okay, with that being said, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay,
Second.
there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Good luck to you, Marie.
Good luck.
Thank you. And I think that covers our agenda.
I move we adjourn.
So moved.
Hey, motion and a second.